I'm Mary Beth Sewald, President and CEO of the Vegas Chamber, and we are honored to be in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, with Senator Jacky Rosen. Thank you so much for being with us. You've done so much to work with the Vegas Chamber on behalf of businesses across the state, and we're just honored to have you.
Oh, thank you for having me. It is really a pleasure and a privilege.
Well, we appreciate it. And you just had a conversation with SBA Administrator Guzman, and you talked about so many new programs that are coming to help small businesses in Nevada. There's navigator programs, childcare programs. What's the highlight for you out of this?
Well, I think the really important thing is that we have to develop relationships here in Washington and then bring them home. And of course, Administrator Guzman has been terrific to work with and her team. They've been listening to the kinds of things that our businesses need, particularly centralizing that online hub for technologies when people need licensing or permitting, marketing, all the things the SBA does. It's really important to have that centralized ability. And also, I think it's good for her to hear about the diverse economy in Nevada, that tourism, how she partners with transportation and Department of Labor in order to help our tourism sector, build our workforce, do all of that. Childcare, incredibly important to every family. And she's been very responsive in her team, and I'm glad for her to have the opportunity to meet with Southern Nevadans.
Well, thank you. We have more than 240 people on our delegation in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
So she got a good dose of Nevada today. So that was very helpful. And I know they were thrilled to hear from her as well. So, switching gears a little bit, workforce development is something that is very near and dear to the hearts of those of us at the Vegas Chamber, Workforce Connections, LVGEA, and so forth. And it's such an important topic to our future. What are some of the priorities for you when it comes to improving workforce across our state?
Well, I sit on the Small Business and Entrepreneurship Committee. I'm also on the Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee, as well as many others. But we hear about workforce and education from everyone. And so it's really important that we partner with businesses large and small to help show whether they're young folks, K through 12, whether they're people who are a little bit older, we call them returnships, wanting to upskill or reskill, that we have this robust partnership, because we can put money in to, say, build roads and bridges and airports, but who's going to do that? Who's going to do the marketing? We can give you money to do things, but it takes people and their passion and their work skills to do it. So it's really important that for every time we invest in building infrastructure, building our rest of our economy, investing in our computer chips,
manufacturing,
that we are sure that people are trained to do those jobs, that are going to be right here in our communities, and that their families have the ability to go to work. That creates a healthy community, healthy economy.
It really does, very much so. And I know that you had some recent success last night with a bill. Would you like to tell us about that?
Well, I think that we had the SBIRs, we got some refunded, everything got reauthorized. So those small business investment groups and other things, we were able to get that through unanimous consent last night to be sure that our small business community, not just in Nevada or Southern Nevada, but all across the country, there's businesses, communities that look just like ours, that have the same struggles that we do. So when we fund it, I believe we're really funding that engine of American ingenuity and the passion of people who start their business, who dream and create. We have to keep that fire lit underneath them.
Okay, and switching gears to travel and tourism,
Yes.
That is something that it's near and dear to, we have that in common, both you, yourself, and me, and all of us in Nevada. We're looking at tourism. Domestic tourism came back fairly quickly, and now we're really trying to relaunch our international travel and get our events back. And of course, we're looking at being a growing sporting events town. So it's very exciting.
Right.
So talk to us a little bit about some of your efforts around that. I know you're very engaged.
I am. I happen to be the chairwoman for the Committee on Tourism, Trade, and Export Promotion. And I want to be clear, that committee didn't exist before this Congress, we spoke with Chairwoman Cantwell and advocated for there to be a special committee that looks at tourism, because tourism is a top economic driver for every state in this nation, bipartisan, important to everybody. And I'm really proud to say that Harry Reid International Airport is now one of the 10 busiest airports in the world, not just in the country, in the world. So what does that mean? Tourism is coming back. Of course, international tourism, I helped urge the administration to lift those COVID-19, those testing requirements for international travelers. The administration did that. We've seen that international tourism coming back. On the domestic front, from my committee, we have introduced a bill. It's an omnibus tourism bill. We like to call it the tour bus, have a little bit of fun with the name. But one of the main things the bill does is create an undersecretary in the Department of Commerce that will oversee domestic travel strategy and tourism strategy. So that's our transportation sector, our labor sector, our small and large businesses, outdoor economy, to look at everything that comprises tourism across this country and develop national strategies. So for the business traveler, for the fun vacation traveler, for the outdoor adventurer, wherever you go, we love everyone. We have 50 million plus coming to Las Vegas. We would like to increase that always, and we're hoping to see that come on the floor soon and get that passed. It'll be a game changer, I believe.
Well, that is wonderful, because as we know, tourism and travel has a trickle-down effect to our local businesses, which has another wonderful economic impact. So,
No, you're exactly right, because for every person who might work, let's say on the Las Vegas Strip, for example, then they go home to their community. They buy a pizza, they buy some gym shoes, they go to the veterinarian, the dog groomer, they get their hair cut, they're shopping. So those dollars contributing to buying a cup of coffee. We got a lot of great coffee shops, and they're contributing to their neighborhood economy. And that is the intersectionality of businesses, not just in Nevada, but everywhere.
It definitely is. Well, Senator Jacky Rosen, thank you so much for everything you do for all of us across the state, and certainly in Southern Nevada and Las Vegas. Thank you so much.
Of course, we're going to keep doing it together. Thank you, Mary Beth.
Okay, all right. I'm Mary Beth Sewald.